Hello, welcome back to A Closer Walk. I'm Irving Kimball. I'm your facilitator for today. And today we're going to be going over Unit 5, Day 3. If you turn in your pages on your book to page 98 in our member books or page 130 in our youth edition, you will find our lesson today is about God reveals. Our memory verse for this week is John chapter 8, verse 47. So we're going to move into our lesson for today, our devotional for today. God's revelations, as God reveals himself, are designed to bring you into a love relationship with him. We know now that God speaks, and when he speaks, what does he speak about? God always speaks about himself, his purpose, and his ways. See, God reveals himself to us in very unique ways. Abraham saw him as almighty. God revealed himself to Moses as holy. God reveals himself to Malachi as the unchanging one. He reveals himself through Jesus as the bread of life. You may ask the question, why does God reveal himself? Well, the answer to that is quite profound. God reveals himself to you so that it might increase faith that leads to action. You see, the ultimate goal of God's revelation is action on your part. You have to believe God is who he says he is. You see, you have to believe God can do what he says he can do. You have to believe God can adjust your thinking. You have to believe you can trust and obey God because of who he is. Then you know God by experience. God always reveals his purpose. That's key. So that you will know what to do. You see, you remember when we talked about Noah and Abram and the plan of God revealed in our member books on, I think it was page 38 and 41, and then in our youth guide it was page 60 and 65, where God talked about his plans and how he revealed his plan so that Noah would know what to do. He gave him specific instructions. He gave Abraham instructions in how to leave and to go in order that he might establish a people for himself. God reveals his purposes so that you will know what he wants you to do. Then also God reveals his ways. See, God reveals his ways because they are the only means to accomplish his purpose. Now, I know that makes sense. Jesus taught his disciple kingdom methods. Remember when he fed the 5,000? The human method was mentioned by his disciples. They said, Master, send the people home. That would have been the human way to deal with that dilemma. But the kingdom method was, Jesus said, have them to sit down and see the glory of God. You see, the kingdom method always utilizes the power and the might in order of God that it might be demonstrated in the human arena. See, God's purposes accomplishes and brings glory to him always. And for us and for you, we must learn to do kingdom work, and we must learn kingdom ways. I would just like to ask that you would practice by quoting your memory verse out loud, because it's important that you have that in your repertoire. He who belongs to God hears what God says. The reason you do not hear is that you do not belong to God. John 8 and 47. Also, I'd like to ask if you would Identify the truth that God has revealed to you through our time today. Write it down, structure a prayer around it, and ask God to perform it in your life. Don't forget to let us know by way of social media, a blog, or our website, or our Facebook page. Let us know how you're experiencing God in your life and the truths that God is revealing to you. We'd love to hear from you. Until the next time, walk closely with Him.
All right.